Welcome everybody. You might hear some noise downstairs because Antonio is having his roof put on. So that's great. Happy for him. He seems very excited about a new roof. I guess it's a wonderful thing to have a new roof, isn't it? I can't believe I'm even talking about somebody else's roof. It's just that it's noisy, that's all. I actually just woke up about 2 hours ago, to be fair, and I went through such a roller coaster of a night. Incredible, actually. And why is that? I'm wearing Moldavite, and I had this little piece around my neck, and it just blew me away. And the vivid experiences that I had through the night was just phenomenal. And I struggled to come out of sleep with it. I struggled to come back. Phenomenal. So as of late, a lot of you have been seeing my Moldavite collection, which is the rolled gold collection. They're all round about 320 up to nearly 500. They're very, very beautiful pieces. But I just thought I'd show you some little pieces that I like wearing on a night and working with. So these are a small collection. There you go. So we've got some collect finished ones, which are really beautiful. Sorry, you can't really see them that well. I guess if I shone a light, maybe I should do that. If I could find it. And there you go. Maybe you can. If I just hold that up and there you go. There you go. Beautiful. There you go. Oh, beautiful. Gorgeous. And some very fine ones, so you won't see much unless I turn it that way. Another piece there. Beautiful. Little nuggets. Absolutely gorgeous. A lovely little nugget there. Gorgeous. Really beautiful. And some more collect. Beautiful. There you go. Yeah, these are from Maliclon. And they're classed as petites. I call them petites. So they're beautiful and very powerful. Very powerful. So I have one of my own here, just around my neck. And for many a day, many a month, I used to wear a small petite, and it did me incredible work. It helped me on my healing path. It helped me when I was giving healing sessions. It helped me when I was trying to attune, when I was working on my tarot cards to learn them and understand them, and when I was working on energy, just to feel people's energy. It's a blessing. There is always a two-way energy to it. It's never something that is blissfully smooth and calm. It's more of a storm. But that's really, they say the worst things in the world are that what teaches us the most. And I think if everything was, calm and lovely, I don't think we really get much out of that. I think it's beautiful, but really when we're knocked and pushed and pulled, especially by Moldavite, in the sense of the detox, the cleansing and the new awakening, which happens after you've had a good jet spray cleanse and clear, then you start to see what you should have seen before, probably because of all the poisons that we are swilling in, all the poisons that we put in our mouth, and all the propaganda and the lies by the mainstream media that keeps us dumbed down. So when you wear Moldavite, it kind of, whether you're asleep or you're awake, it kind of shakes you, or it feels like that. It feels like you're being shaken up. And a lot of people misinterpret that it's a bad thing. But actually, if they kept it on and left it on, they find that looking back, they realise that was a very good process to where you are now. Most people give up with Moldavite and just say, oh, I'll just put it on every now and again. I just leave it on. And I could have taken this off last night after drifting into this very, very unusual, intensive experience. But I kept it on because I wanted to go through it. I wanted to feel that. And there was a lot of things that came up of my past that I didn't even realize that I'd kind of buried. So they resurfaced again, which brought in a lot of new energy and a lot of new thoughts and feelings, which was profound, really. And I think that's why I'm like exhausted, because then I think from that point, there was a release at round about 2 o'clock. And then as I went into a more of a deeper sleep, I could feel my consciousness leave this spacesuit. And then there was some very, very profound experiences, and that I met certain people, and which is interesting. And I'll find out if that experience was real. I'll find out within 4 days, because that was quite phenomenal. I wrote quite a lot of it down this morning, very personal, but very, very important. And I'm looking at it from a different angle than just me. I'm stood outside of what I experienced to see, well, if I was talking to Mark, what advice would I give him? And that's really where we should be with Moldavite. We shouldn't jump in and just think about me, but think about the bigger picture and what's really happening. So Moldavite, to me, big or small, there's a massive debate on Moldavites, the size of them. And all I can tell you is through the experience of the years that I've worked with it, that it didn't matter whether it was a beautiful little piece or a massive piece. It was still the same energy effect. And I think a lot of the times we tend to block ourselves from what we perceive as is real, because we change that perception by way of block. So if you believe in something, then that belief opens you up to the very nature of the reality that you blocked because you perceived that it wasn't, or it couldn't, or it shouldn't do that, So I don't do that. I am open up to crystals, no matter what shape, size, raw, polished. I open myself up to it and just allow and see what happens. I think that's the best place to be. That's the most grounded place to be when you work with a crystal. And I guess the most important thing that I missed out with crystals is expectation. I think that, to me, I've talked about it over the years, just expectation is a killer of crystals. It's a killer. So I don't expect anything when I hold a crystal, whether it's, I just got a message sent to me the other day with a Moldavite offered to me for, I don't know, it's thousands. And I'm looking at it, feeling it. It's not the price. It's not whether it was cheap or expensive. I'm just feeling its energy. No expectations. And it just didn't feel right. And it was beautiful, but it just didn't feel right. So I'm very choosy these days. And even, this might sound silly, but I go through literally thousands of Moldavites to choose a certain few, which I just feel in that instant that they feel resonate to the frequency that I want when I work on pure energy healing on the crystal. So, I'll sometimes scratch my head and think nobody's ever going to buy that, because it's just nothing. It's just tiny and nobody will want that. But it's probably normally the first thing that sells, because people are attuned and they feel pulled towards a crystal, and the crystal pulls you and you pull the crystal. It's like it's a magnet effect. And sometimes you wonder why you choose a crystal. You don't even know why. Was it the color? Was it? I don't even know anything, but I need that crystal. And that is being open. That's how I choose crystals. So a lot of times I close my eyes and just go through. If there's maybe 1,000, I'll just hold one at a time, put it to the left if I don't want it, and to the right if I want it. So it's just the way I do. I hold it, feel it for a few seconds. If I get something from it, it goes to the right. And so I'll go through thousands of Moldavites to get to a small amount of beautiful pieces. And then once I've worked on them for the time that I feel is right, I send them to Bali, and then they get mounted. So they could be mounted like in a cap like that, or they could be mounted in a tea bar, nice tea bar, or they could be mounted in collet like this. They're all stamped MB, that's marked Bajerski, so you know that they're genuine, and they all come from Maliclum, and they are exactly as they should be. So there's still a process, still a lot of process gone into these. What do I value them at? I value them at the same as Alexandrite, high quality Alexandrite. That's how I value them. I value them more than well, probably diamond. I value them at diamond. So I see them different as most people see them, because the value that I get from them is the value of experience. And that experience you don't get with a diamond. Yes, you'll get it with Alexandrite, but not so much with a diamond. Diamond's beautiful, but it's not so much. There's nothing that comes close or compares to Moldavite when it comes to experiences that you've like never experienced before, or feelings that you've never felt before. And that's why I love it. And I somebody sent me a post the other day of a lovely lady in, I think she's got a crystal shop in the Cotswolds, and apparently she went over to the Czech Republic, like many people do now, and they do a bit of digging, which is really nice, and then they bring a load of Moldavites back with them, and then they share it on their channel. And this particular lady was very, very positive towards it. And I was smiling. I thought, what a lovely lady. And she was very positive about Moldavite, because it's too easy to jump on the bandwagon as, oh, it's all bad, it's dangerous. It's like, well, that's just regurgitated information from other people. And often as well, I think we accumulate a certain, we contribute, to a certain amount of issue. I mean, if I say to myself all day, I feel bad, everything's going wrong. If I keep saying that, I am reaffirming that my consciousness, for some reason, just says, okay, well, I think we need to feel bad then. And I think sometimes if we have this precursor of, oh, it's all going to go wrong, and I'm going to tell myself it's going to go wrong, then guess what? You're going to feel as if everything's going to go wrong. But if you are of balance and you say, well, I'm not going to judge, I'm just going to see what happens, and then stand back from what happened and look at it, then you normally find you've got the answer, you'll get the answer. A lot of the times when you're going through what I call is the Moldavite flush, the detox, Moldavite cleansing, there's so many words you can use, but you can in that moment grasp that very thing and say, this is terrible, it's awful. And that's it, it's done. And that's your experience and it's finished. But if you speak to a healer who's worked through those moments, and all these clients that I gently nudge to just keep it on, this is a good thing, it's a good thing, it's a detox, There's never been a client that's ever said to me, that is wearing it all the way through till the very end, that's ever said that, oh my God, it just got worse and worse and worse, and it just got worse, and even now I'm wearing it, Mark, and it's all so bad, and when's it going to end? And like it's been 6 weeks, it's been a month. It's like I've never had that. What I've had is, wow, I went through that experience and I did what you said, and now I can't take it off. And I say, how do you feel? I feel great. Okay, and do you think the Moldavite helped? Now that I look back, now that I just take a deep breath and look at it with open eyes and objectively, and just to think about it as if it's not me, and just, wow, yeah, that really did help. So there's so many people, because of AI, because of the technology, that we don't give anything a chance. We so easily judge. We so easily run away from things. We so easily condemn. So it's so lovely to at least hear one person very positively who sells Moldavite. And you might say, well, she's selling it, so she's not going to say anything negative. Well, you have a point, for sure you do. I sell it, but I didn't sell it for many, many years. I didn't sell Moldavite for years, and yet I was the biggest advocate on this mountain and Marbella and Porto Banús and, all over. I was selling it, but I didn't sell it. I was just selling it by saying this is incredible. And the shows that I were doing, I didn't sell crystals then, but I was saying try Moldavite, and I was saying the same thing. It just happens that I came into the field of selling crystals because of clients asking me to work on them. Could you please work on this crystal? Yeah, sure. And what is it you do? I said, well, put it on top of my client as I'm giving them a healing session. So the energy that goes into my client is now in the crystal because it's like an added memory. Wow, I can feel it. Oh, nice. That's good then. Can you make one for my brother? Can you make one for my sister? Can you make one for my dad? My friends want one. Now the friends come. Oh, can you make something? And I can't continue doing this because I used to give crystals away. I bought them to work with them, and then I was giving them away. And then I thought, I was coming home, and I got to be honest, me and my partner, when we were together, we used to argue because we didn't have anything. Like, you've come home and you've got nothing. And yeah, but it's been a beautiful day and it was incredible. And, the clients were healed. And, if you ask anybody on the Costa del Sol, anybody who worked with me, you'll hear that I gave them a crystal. That ain't lies. That isn't exaggerations. I've probably given more crystals away than any healer in the world. I literally give in one I decided to do something because my business started to pick up a bit, not a lot, just a bit. And I'm thinking, okay, I've got a little bit of money now. Might have had about, I don't know, 800 at that time, 800 euros. I'm like, I want to do something, Oh, what I want to do, I want to create something. So we created something called Illuminate. I wanted to call it Illuminate because I wanted to dispel the lies and hypocrisy and bring back the word illuminate, which is a beautiful word which has been hijacked by darkness. And Illuminate was all free event, so there was no catches, although people were terrified to walk through the door thinking that we were going to try and sell them something. And they were like, what's the catch? And there is no catch. All healers from the Pure Energy Healing Academy, which I'm a founder of, we travelled from all over the world and we came together, and I hired a beautiful big hotel. I hired all sorts. It ended up costing me thousands and thousands, but it was worth it. It was worth it. Thousands it cost me. But funnily enough, business started picking up even more then. So the more I was saying we need to do this and we're going to do it, the more that my crystals would sell on my website. And it was like the universe was really listening. And I said, everybody who comes into this room to have a healing session, everybody who comes and sits down and listens to these amazing speakers that are giving free information, all of the pure energy healers that came from all over the world that spent a weekend giving free healing to everybody, and everybody who was sat down on those 100 seats, every time I said, okay, it's time for a healing session for all of us. All the healers would come downstairs and we'd go around the crowd and give them a healing session in the meditation, as I used to do when I used to do my circle nights. That's exactly how I did it. So it was beautiful. Everybody who left there left with a beautiful packet, with a card and a beautiful crystal. And we had over 2,000 people come in and out of those 2 days. This isn't an exaggeration, this is truth. So when I say that I've given thousands of crystals away, even yesterday and the day before and the day before that, I've given crystals away to people who have got nothing, who are you know, just not in a good place. And I do it out of love, and I always do it. And Bajerski.com every year normally gives over 100,000 euros of crystals, incense and oils away to people who have nothing. So when I do videos of crystals, I sometimes get people who are judgmental and very weak-minded, sometimes very jealous and angry and bitter at me because I sell crystals, and that's who I am, above and beyond, and that's what I am now. I buy individual crystals, I work on them till I feel they're ready, and then I put them on my website, and it's up to people if they want to buy them or not. They're not forced upon anybody. You'll never see an advert of mine, only on my own channel or only on my own Instagram page or Facebook page. I'll post crystals, but I don't advertise them anywhere. I don't pay advertised. I don't ask people to tell people about them. I do it, I think, in a very I do it in a truthful and easy way, not like the bullshit lies videos that are forced in your face by Instagram and all of that nasty kind of advertising. So I get bitter about that. I get angry about it. So that's not who I am. But then you know, I'm like thinking of all of the times that people get so upset and angry. I thought you were a healer. Well, I am, but I also sell crystals and I work with them. That's my work. That's my full-time job. I might every now and again do a healing session online to give people, a little bit of a boost or a little bit of a helping hand. But that's not my full-time job anymore. I retired years ago. I don't give readings anymore, which I used to do. I've done over 10,000 readings as well as healing sessions. Don't do that anymore. But every now and again, I'll jump online and do something for our family group that we come together with. So that's who I am. It doesn't ever stop, really. The negativity doesn't really ever stop. And when you look at these people, they're very angry and very bitter in life. And I'm seeing more and more angry and bitter people are in life. And if they only realised that, if they were nice and kind, and they would say nice things and be kind, nice and good things could happen. You never know. I might just send you a crystal or a box of goodies, and if you're kind and lovely. But some people just destroy their own life, and they're bitter in their own life, and everything is miserable in their own life because that's the way they are to other people. So that's why I always have this, I've always said this, that the hand that gives is always full, but it was more the heart that gives is always full. And so I've always used that as a template of my life and my work. Integrity is probably the biggest thing for me. And you've got to be honest and be as truthful as you possibly can to what you do and how you do it without hurting people and upsetting people. Never be deceiving, never lie and be a manipulator, because it always comes back at you. I always remember this time, I've never been somebody who's ever done anything to hurt anybody. It's just not part of my being. I just don't think like that. It's just, I look at people and think, why would they do it? But then I come to realize we're not all the same. We don't all come from the same God. We all come from different parts of this universe, and some of us feed differently than others. We feed from love and kindness, and when we see somebody who falls, we run over and give them a cuddle. Some people see somebody fall and laugh and feel that energy and enjoy the pain and suffering. So we're all very different. I wish one day we'd all understand that, but normally what happens is it takes many, many years before we really truly understand that. But then we always get this pushback by saying, well, now you're separating people even more. And I think, no, we should acknowledge the fact that we are all different, and some of us are really, truly people that come from a kind place, and there are some people who are absolute deceivers and paedophiles and rapists, and we need to know the difference, and we need to be aware of that. But there you go. what does Moldavite do for me? Whenever I wear it, I tend to see more. I tend to be more, I guess, deeper to the very question of whatever I'm thinking about or whatever my focus is on. I tend to look deeper and stand back and see I used to call it the bigger picture, just to see what's really truly happening. If I ever feel something, what I try and do is run to that feeling, to the very root cause of it. So if it's a happy feeling, where did it come from? If it's a sad feeling, where did it come from? I want to find the root cause of that. So Moldavite, it intensifies your focus to, I think, the real place of healing. So when I'm not feeling good, I'm looking for the root cause of that. When somebody is not very nice to me, I look for the root cause for that. Okay, they're in a bad place because somebody's upset them today or they lost their job, so now they're taking it out on me. Now I can see why that's happened, instead of saying, oh, why people picking on me? So, it's finding the answers. I think Moldavite is definitely what does. It helps you find the answers. And sometimes it can be difficult, but sometimes it can be really beautiful. And once you get this bond with Moldavite, once you feel that bond with it and your energy, the bond is basically the frequency that you allow. So you just be part of that frequency, then you become more of I become like an investigator. I become very focused on certain things that are important. And for some reason, I know you're going to think this is crazy, but I actually think Moldavite has a frequency that knows where danger could come, and it focuses you on answering the very dangers of life. Like now, we're in the midst of a war, another war. We're always in a war, but it could be a cataclysm of a war. What do we need to do? We need to point out. We need to share truth about why this is happening, and so Moldavite gives you that awareness and tries to help you understand and how to heal and how to try to make the difference and get the frequency of truth out there to change that world. So when I talk about Moldavite, and I've talked about it for 20 years now, I can give you segments of Moldavite, segments of how it helps with healing, a segment on how it helps with psychic ability, how it can help you with astral travel, how it can help you with deep meditation, how it can help you see extraterrestrial, and so on. There's segments that we can look at, and there's thousands of them. And yes, many of you keep saying, when you're going to finish your book, and I hope to one day finish it, and when it is, it will be finished when I feel it's ready. But I add to that most days. I quickly scribble down something when I'm wearing Moldavite and what's happening at the moment. And I do say to people that Moldavite changes to the very nature of reality, of the frequency that shifts all the time within this universe of ours. So it's a fascinating talisman. That's what it is. And it works very well with you. So you might ask, how much are these? Well, just please remember that Bajerski.com. Okay, Bajerski.com. Okay, Bajerski.com does all his products a free delivery worldwide. So please bear that in mind, for free delivery. So one of these might weigh, with the 925. All my products are from Bali, and they're all Bali silver. 925. Okay, so I have solid gold, which is normally 18 karat gold, rose gold, or I'll have it rose gold plated, and so it'll be sterling silver 925, and then rose gold, rolled rose gold. So I don't know how much this would be after I've weighed it and worked out how many hours I've put into it, but it's going to be anywhere between like 35 to maybe 65, 70. And if they're bigger pieces, then they're closer to maybe 80 and 120. So what I'm going to try and do then, for you guys. I'm going to try and do them at the best price I can. So just bear that in mind. It's free delivery all over the world, okay? So I have to incorporate that in the price. So I did that so it makes it easier for you. I don't know what you feel about that, but it's always worked for my company. And I do things that work for me, in the sense of, if I go to a website and say, oh, that was really easy, or if I make something to eat, I want to make it nice enough so that you can eat it. So I never make something crap for somebody else. So when I cook something, I cook it as if I'm cooking it for you. So I would never give you anything. So on my website, I would never give you anything that I wouldn't give for myself. So it was many, many years ago that I saw this website, and basically it was like click, click, click. And then it said, oh, this crystal, I thought, because it was a company in Brazil, and I clicked on it, and the crystal was, I think, 55, and it was really nice. It was a lapis lazuli. It was beautiful, and it was 55. And then I clicked on it, thought, okay, I'm going to buy that. And then this came up, and then that came up, and this came up. When it finished, it was like 130, something like that. Delivery and this, and yeah, but that's not right. That was wrong. Okay, so I said I didn't want to do that. I was adamant that when my website was being built, I said I don't want that. I want it like this. I want it so that whatever you see is what you pay, and there's nothing, no surprise. So when you buy a crystal at 120 and click on it, at the cash point, it says 120. And, oh, it's free delivery. Yeah. So I wanted it so that I could combine everything. So it's just one click and you buy it, and that's it, and it comes to you. The only difference was that the cheaper crystals, we could only send by Correios, which is like your local delivery service. So it might take longer to get to you. But then if you bought something at 120, then that would be free DHL. And if you know anything about the price of DHL, you'll understand that, okay, Mark's paying a lot of money for delivery for you. So I incorporate everything to make it easy. And that's the way I am. That's the way I work. And I'm not going to change that for anything. That's how it works. And it's easy. We were talking the other day about maybe adding at the cash desk, because we want to make it more accessible for people. At the very end of the checkout, it says, like, I have these now. I invested in these. So, MB. So these are lovely. I mean, how do you clean your silver? You get one of these. So at the end it says, oh, would you like one of these? And I think that's nice, because you can say, no, I don't want one of them, or I do want one of them, and then it just adds to it. But there's no hidden bullshit. That's all. And I think that's I think that's one of the reasons why people like to come back. And I'm very proud of saying I think today we're at 81% roundabout this month. So that's 81% of revisiting clients to buy at markbajerski.com. Sometimes we're nearly at 90, 91, 92. So that means that clients who've been to the website come back. So it's not like we're chasing new clients. No, we don't need to, because people like the product. So they like pure energy healing crystals. Just like when I first started 20 years ago, when people used to say, I don't know what it is, but I love your crystals, Mark. I want you to make me another, do me another. Can you get me another one? Can you work on another one? And it's never changed. And up to this moment, that concept has never changed. And that's like now I'm working on, I've got another hour on these, and then they're finished. And then I've got them over there, which is Mount Shasta, that I've done 16 hours, for 20 hours now on them, and maybe another 2 more hours, and then they will then go on the website. Prior to that, they were here when I worked on them, and they probably had about 15 hours. So most of my crystals have well over 10, 20, and sometimes 30 hours on work on them. Who else does that? Who else do you know puts pure energy healing into them? I can't imagine there's that many. Yanni, yes, pure energy healer, but I don't think there's that many out there. And that's just the way I am. And it upsets a lot of crystal sellers. Oh, you can't do that. Well, why can't I do it? You do what you want. You can do whatever you want. Just relax. Just because you don't understand it doesn't mean that my clients don't, because they do. And they can feel that extra energy. So, yeah, from being a Moldavite video where we had a nice little chat, actually, a nice 30-minute chat. So I'm off shortly. I've got another few more hours to work on crystals. I'm going to do some uploads if I can of these. Always difficult when the sun's not out. Look, the sun's not out. So unfortunately, it's hard to take photos of Moldavite. So they never look as pretty. But when you can take a photo of them, the sun is on them, they look gorgeous. But then I'm heading to the UK tomorrow, and to visit my grandchildren, which is really beautiful, and my daughter and my son. We're all coming together to go on apparently a train ride, some kind of, I don't know, is it a Santa train ride? It should be fun. So I'm wishing you all a lovely day. Please be aware that them 10 oils behind there, I don't know if there's any left, so did I get a message this morning telling me stop? I can't remember, and I can't turn my phone off because I'm filming now. But anyway, then if there is still available, you'll still find it. That's 10 oils at basically less than cost, and they come to you by free DHL. It's like a gift, okay? So I don't know if there's any left, but they'll go back up from they're normally 304 for my full set, but now they're 120, so that's just for the remaining of what I had left, and now I have to make some more, and I probably have to do that later on this afternoon. Start anyway. So yeah, be aware of that. And also, let me finish on this note. As another gift from my heart to yours, if you do go to Bajerski.com and buy a crystal or incense and oils, and they reach 50, if they reach 50, that 50 gets automatically turned into a ticket for a raffle for all of these. There's probably about 5,000 euros of crystals there. The best and most beautiful crystals, Mark Bajerski crystals there. And the second prize will be a £250 voucher, because we have vouchers on markbajerski.com, and a 1-year supply of this beautiful and brand new detox aura spray, cleansing, clearing entity. We all need that these days. 1-year supply of that, and 1-year supply, that's the same one. 1-year supply of cleansing negative energy aura spray, and 1-year supply of cleansing negative energy incense sticks. So it's not a bad raffle for my clients who go there anyway. So it'll be a lovely Christmas surprise on the 27th of December. I shall be pulling, hopefully, your name out. And I think that's it. I'm wishing you all a lovely day. I'll get back to work. Mr. Bajerski, he talks too much.